Hello everyone, welcome back to nandhuzEQTY. Hope you're all doing good and also already finished tax filing or you're in the process of tax filing. So today what we are going to say is, by mistake if you have selected a tax regime, whether you can change it now and get some tax reduction. And also if you have already filed return, what to do. That is what we are going to see in today's video. We hardly have 3 days or 72 hours or less than 72 hours to file tax. This option can be exercised only within 31st July 2024. So please watch this video fully to understand this and exercise and save tax. During last year, April 2023, the employer would have provided an option to select all employees to opt for the old or new tax regime. For some reason, like if you were out of office or you forgot to select, and if your tax regime by default taken into new tax regime and you did not submit any of the exemptions related documents, what to do? So what would have happened now? It would have taken the new tax regime and tax would have been deducted based on that, and it would have been reflected in your form 16 as well. But you realize now that if you had opted for old tax regime, your tax liability would have been less. What to do? Let's see. The Income Tax Department provides one last opportunity to all taxpayers, whether you are individuals or Hindu United families, to switch from new to old tax regime while filing the tax. Let's quickly understand what is the old and new tax regime to start with. In the year 2020, Government of India introduced a new tax regime and which simplifies tax calculations but reduces deductions. But the old regime encourages savings through various exemptions. So if you have housing loan or HRA and you are well within 10 or 20% slabs, the best would be old tax regime, where you can submit various proofs for deductions and exemptions and you can get some tax reduction. Whereas you are already more than 30% and your salary is say more than 50 lakhs and submitting any of these proofs are not going to really benefit you, the new tax regime would be good. But the government kept on changing these rates between the two old and new slab rates. So it's very important to understand every year which tax regime would be best for you. If we take a quick look on both the regimes, old tax regime allows various deductions and exemptions and tax rates are higher compared to new regime, and of course there was a standard deduction of 50,000 available for both areas. So if we have tax benefits for investments and expenses and also various deductions, then it's good to opt old tax regime. But if you do not want to go for any deductions like HRA, LTA, ATCD, etc., then good to go for new tax regime and the slab rates are above. So it also had reduced surcharge for high net worth individuals in that particular financial year. Okay, so now you have opted for new tax regime, but new tax regime was selected by default, one of those, or you totally forgot. But when you are calculating the taxes, when you are filing the returns, you realize that the old tax regime would have given some tax benefits. So is there a way to now file and claim the refund? Yes, there is an option. When you open the income tax website for filing ITR, the above what you see in the screen will show up. It will say that please note new tax regime is the default regime. Kindly compare the tax liability as per new and old tax regime before filing your return of income. List of significant exemptions and deductions not available under new tax regime. So this will come up, and when you are filing returns within 31st July, there is an option which will show up where you can opt for either new or old tax regime. So the tax regime can be chosen regardless of what was decided for tax deduction on salary earlier in the fiscal year. The basic condition is not having income from business or profession. So if you select no, you can change in the 10IE form. So First, you need to fill this basic information. Most of them are already there, and you have to just select no for the question whether the individual or HUF has any income under the head profit or gains from business or profession. So this is the only condition to change your tax regime. The Form 10 IEA is mandatory for people who are having income from business or profession, and if you are just salaried, you do not have any other income, it will automatically validate in the very beginning when you opted no in the previous screen. So ultimately, if you have opted either new or old tax regime, you still have a chance to change it before filing your IT returns, meaning while filing IT returns. But you should do this within July 31st. So you have only about 72 hours or so to complete this process. You might have a couple more questions like, can we change tax regime every year? Yes, in the current scenario, if you are a salaried individual, you can switch tax regimes every year. But if you earn income from a business or profession, you can do so only once. There could be scenarios like if you have already filed the returns early this year and you have filed the returns based on new tax regime. Now, when you come to know that you can change the old regime and you can claim some refund, is it really possible? Yes, an individual can change their income tax regime while filing a revised ITR. The only thing is, you should have filed the return this year within July 31st. So whether opting for the old or new regime does not matter. This flexibility is available as long as the original ITR was filed on or before July 31st. So don't delay filing your tax return. So complete that within this 31st July so that you can always, file a revised ITR based on the preferred tax regime that you want to get the benefit of additional tax savings. So in summary, you can still opt out from new tax regime and move to old tax regime while filing your income tax. You can do this only if you file your tax on or before 31st July 2024. If you have already filed your tax, then you realize that old tax regime would have given some additional tax saving. You can still update through additional forms and submit a revised return where you can choose old tax regime. Thanks for watching. Hope this video is useful to you. Ensure filing your tax return within 31st July. I am not a tax consultant or SEBI registered financial advisor. This video is only to create awareness and for educational purposes.